And here's me! No matter how far away I get from the mic, it always clips when I shout. Even if I shout upwards towards the ceiling, it clips. Unbelievable. I can't get the right flipping... Oh, hello. It's Friday. It was Saturday last week, but now it's Friday again. Hooray! Now, it's going to be a bit of an interesting stream at this time, because I have a little device that I'm going to tell you about, and it's a very cool little device. So actually, streaming it's going to be a little bit weird. I hope it works. I think it should work. But you might see some... well, basically I'm having to capture it from my Elgato software, because otherwise it'd be input lag city, and basically I can't be dealing with input lag nowadays. I've got past that phase, and in this intermediary... well, I'll explain when we actually get to it. So prepare for some staticky static. Some of you may be familiar with this. Wow, that is totally destroying the bitrate. Ooh, boy. That is getting crushed like a bug. Wow. Right, let's see if I can switch to it without the UI showing up. Hey, there we go. Right. So, pressing A does not really help the bitrate, but it does... oh, yeah, actually, slightly helps it, maybe. I'm just going to press on Neo Geo here because... it will save the thing from getting crushed so much. Right, let me explain what this thing is. This is a Terasic, or Terasic, however you pronounce it. I think it's Terasic because that sounds a bit better. DE10 Nano, which is a development board for developing things that work with an FPGA. So basically developing processors and other such fripperies. Now, some clever people, lots of clever people, have looked at this and thought, you know what? We don't have to sit around and see this thing just get used to make things, because we can make our own things. And what they've done is they've, well, you know the analog systems, the Super NT and the Mega SG and all that malarkey. Also the Retro USB AVS, that's another example. And the EverDrives, I believe, use FPGAs. It's essentially replicating a piece of hardware using a field programmable gate array, so it's a programmable processor. Essentially, that's my understanding of it. I'm not an electrical engineer. Don't know what an electronic engineer. There is a difference. So yeah, that's my understanding of it. You just get to basically have a replicated piece of hardware, and you use this programming language that I can't remember the name of, but it's basically for programming hardware, so processors and circuit boards and stuff. And you use that and you put that in the FPGA, you tell it what to do, and then it replicates what you want it to. So now the FPGA is a Neo Geo. For all intents and purposes. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is a Neo Geo. If I was to go over to Core and say, oh, NES, and there goes the UI of the capture software, and now the bitrate's going to go all crunchy again. There we are. Oh, it actually just looks grey on the stream. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, goodness. Now it's an NES. And now... it's a Super Famicom, and wow, the video is just going bonkers, so I'm going to change back to Neo Geo, because that's the most impressive one, and I need to load a game because it's just going mad. So, just going to do, let's do Metal Slug 3. It's loading the PROM, it's loading the CROM. And let's hope the settings have saved from last time. I do apologise for this video, by the way. This isn't me. This is somebody else's fault. Oh, in fact, it's completely broken the whole thing. Hang on a tick. This wasn't happening before. Oh, whoops. Reboot. There we are. No, that's... oh, what's going on here? Hold. Cold reboot. Hard reset. I wish this... oh my goodness, it's still doing it. It's just completely flubbing up my Neo Geo. Oh dear. What is going on here? Is it because it's being captured by another video software? Is that what's causing the issue here? It's very hard to look at, I appreciate that. In fact, yeah, that's just completely not working at all. I feel that I need to... I can't believe this was working absolutely perfectly yesterday. And today it's just gone to crap. Oh, and... and now it's working again. Now that I'm no longer looking at it, it's working. Or rather, now OBS isn't looking at it, it's working. Right. So will it stay working? Yes, it will. What? Okay, let's try that again. Take 2. Metal Slug X. One of my favourites of the series. I can't decide whether I like this one or Metal Slug 3 more. Metal Slug 6, of course, is a bit of a hard sell because it's not on the Neo Geo. Anyway, here we go. So now I have a Neo Geo with slightly crackly audio. I'll explain why in a second. X! Yeah! So, I have a Neo Geo. It's running Metal Slug. Well, it's technically Neo Geo AES using the Unibios by some guy. Pretty sure he's a French guy or maybe a Belgian guy. Yeah. And I'm running Metal Slug X as if I had an AES plugged into my computer. Yeah, so this is not... It's not emulation in the strictest sense. It is... I'm not sure how you would describe it, actually. In fact, let's... Oh dear, I'm trying to get my mic in a good position so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's just have a look at the About screen. That doesn't really tell us very much, though it does explain what's going on here. So it's based on a couple of different projects. Myst is for a different FPGA board, though I'm not sure which one. And Minimig is a similar thing, but just for the Amiga, so that's been ported over. Because what it is, MiSTer-y is just the software, and then that is responsible for loading the cores, which go into the FPGA. So, let's play some Metal Slug. MiSTer-y. MiSTer-y is my go-to. Because I like carrying an axe around. Oh goodness, it's quite loud in my ears. So I'll just mention as well, I'm using a little... Oh no, the blood! Hang on a tick. Let's do this properly. Because it should have kept the blood, because it's still on the USA console, but apparently not. Exit. Let's try that again. Right. I mean, I know it's the same game, but you need the blood. It's not the same without the over-the-top violence, is it? So yeah, as I was saying, I'm using a retro USB Sega Saturn controller, and it's really, really nice. This works extremely well with Neo Geo stuff because it's got 6 buttons. It's got a really nice D-pad, so it's great for, well, quite a nice D-pad. I wouldn't say it's the best D-pad I've ever used, but it's certainly up there. It feels really nice. It's got a nice action to it. It's really easy to pull off, you know, the quarter circle stuff that you need for fighting games. So it's a good choice. It will work with a variety of USB controllers. I did try it with the, what is it? The Buffalo SNES style controller. Oh crap. Walked right into that one, didn't I? In fact, you know what? Just because I'm a mad, let's reset once again. Let's just make sure the blood is off again. It doesn't like being reset. It doesn't save the settings. I mean, I don't know if I need to do something specific to save the settings, but... Oh, my preview seems to have stopped. I'm still live. I'm not dropping any frames. What's going on Twitch? Oh, now look. There we go. Come on, go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh, come on. We don't need this. I just want to... There we go. Right, I've got to do this first level without flipping down. I can do it. Of course, talking about playing Metal Slug while talking about something that isn't Metal Slug is a task unto itself. I mean, just playing Metal Slug is a task unto itself, let's face it. So, the reason why I'm running it in this... I'm not doing it straight to OBS. I'm doing it through the capture software that comes with my capture card. Is because it's running through HDMI. And OBS, if you do capture card straight through that, then you get a huge amount of input lag. Just because of the way it's set up. It's not the specific proprietary software that's included with the capture card. So it makes sense that it's not going to be perfect. Come on, you've got to play the meta on this bit. There we go, look. Make the best use of the ammo you have. And hopefully have some enemy chaser left over. There you go. Ooh, flashing screen, not nice. Let's take the camel slug. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Yep. Delicious bones. And here comes the great bit where these guys just walk straight into your bullets. There we are. Let's rescue this lady. There we are. Even though she was fine and now she's disappeared. Oh well. I keep losing my train of thought massively. So are the Arabian guys driving the tanks? Oh, they throw swords. I've never left them alive long enough to know what they actually do. Right, shoot the red one, and then the other ones. Oh, there. Right, don't pick up the rocket launch because I've got a crap ton of heavy machine gun ammo. I mean, with any luck, I won't need it, but sometimes you do. Right. Let's chuck some grenades here because I can. There we are. The 20-something grenades I had in my pocket have just been unloaded into that tank thing. Right. This boss is a pushover. Reason why I'm shooting the bottom bit and not the main bit of the tank. Check it out. Prisoners, come here! No! He went off the screen and he is a bad boy for doing so. And now I can just shoot the main thing and I might as well pick up the heavy machine gun. I'm not going to be... Well, there we go. Hey! Now, to get this running, you get the Teresic D10 nanoboard, which is available from a variety of different places, electronics retailers and the likes. You generally need to get them from like wholesales and stuff because you can't get them from, well, Maplin, for example, or Currys or anything like that. Not that Maplin exists anymore. Jeepers creepers. That's a dated reference and I'm sad about it because Maplin was a decent shop. Right. There's a prisoner that shows up here. And I've never known how to rescue him. Shoot the bats for no particular good reason. Oh, that guy digs up a diamond for you, and now that guy picks up some bread. That's fine. Yeah, you can't just go to the store and buy a D10 Nano. Not really. Unless there is a store that sells them, in which case I'm telling fibs. And then once you've got it, to get MiSTer working properly, I mean, it will work on just a basic system without anything added to it. But it will only technically work. Like, you won't be able to run very much on it. I think you can run the Mega Drive core, but I can't quite remember. And because I wasn't really paying attention properly, I missed out on that flame shot. Oh well. I'm sure there'll be scope to get another one. See? Told you. Except with not very much ammo. Ooh, a super shotgun, that's what we want. Yeah. But to run pretty much everything else, you need a few extra bits. Which have been designed so you can just make them yourself if you have the know-how and are able to get PCBs printed. You can just do all this stuff yourself. Or you can just go out and buy it. So there's the SD RAM board. Oh! Damn it! There is the... Yeah, the SD RAM board is the one that you definitely need. Oh, this is such a pain when you're a mummy. Oh, goodness. Just die! Thank you. Yeah, the SD RAM board you pretty much need for all the cores, apart from a select few. You can get them in various different sizes. You only need the biggest one if you're going to run Neo Geo, such as I am. The biggest one is 128 meg, and that'll run just about everything that the board can handle. You can also get a USB hub, because the board, as it is, it only has one USB port, and it is a micro USB port, so you have to get an on-the-go adapter, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But it is possible. That's how I've got my controller connected at the moment, because I do not have a USB hub or anything like that. And the other item of interest you can get, I appreciate that this is an entirely incoherent ramble about the system, and I just died because I'm stupid. Oh! This is hard to stream and also talk about what you're doing. But I suppose I'm not here to do a proper playthrough, am I really? Let's face it. Go, 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 go! Oh, this dog. There we go. Go! Kick the dog in the face. Yeah. Right, let's actually talk about what I was talking about. The third expansion board you can get is called an I/O board. And that's the most interesting one, because it adds a whole bunch of, as you'd imagine, I/O to the board. Mostly O. So you get an extra SD card slot, for some reason. It's used by a few cores, I don't know which ones. I'm no expert. And it has an extra USB port, an actual full-size one as well. So you can just plug controllers in without having to have a on-the-go or a hub. But the main thing for me is that it includes an analog video output in the form of a DB50. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. That was terrible. I can usually do this while sort of keeping the mech alive, but... Well, I can usually do this whole level without flipping dying, but that's kind of off the cards. Right. How did you do? Was it B and C? Was it A and B? There we go! Grenades. Grenades are... Oh, I was about to say grenades aren't really much use, but it turns out they are. If you throw... Oh! I didn't know this thing fired rockets at you. Yeah, throw grenades from here. Yeah, there we go. Look! Oh! And pay attention to the rockets. Man, I just lost like 600 ammo there. But I've got more bombs, so that's something. Have some grenades! Oh, there we go. Dead. Great, 0 prisoners. What a flipping waste of time. yeah, it's got analog output in the form of a DBC15 port, and that will output to RGB SCART. Oh yes. Which brings me on to, and I want to do a little video on this because I think it's a good topic. Oh, I've paused the game. Oh, this is one of my favourite levels ever. Shoot that guy in the back of the head. These two are having a cookout. Let's get rid of them. That guy hasn't noticed that his mate's just been shot to death, but hey. You can shoot this guy. and he bleeds money. Man, this game just has such a brilliant sense of humour. Oh, right, yeah, of course, I forgot about that. Choo-choo! If I had normal grenades, I could just, Ah! Yes. A super shotgun while you're fat. Wow. Oh! Well, I don't like being fat anyway. It's a pain in the ass. You move slowly, you attack slowly. I mean, your weapons become stupidly powerful, but it's I prefer being agile and powerful. And let's face it, everything dies in one shot anyway, so it really doesn't matter very much. But yeah, the analog output brings me on to my next topic, which is how it compares to other things of this type. I mean, I hesitate to say product because not really products as such, but you can. This is comparable to a RetroPie, something like that. It's also comparable to something like a Retron. Retron being a piece of crap that shouldn't be allowed to live, but way people like it for some reason. The Retron, it has HDMI output. It doesn't have analog output, and it will only take cartridges, which is fine, but the thing is, Retron's still just software emulation, so it's no different to using, say, a RetroPie. Now, I've always found RetroPies to be a real pain to set up. I know you can buy them pre-made on eBay and all that, but that kind of defeats the point to me. I prefer to sort of set these things up myself, and so they're all jolly good. But, well, yeah, and I always want my own selection of games. I don't want somebody else's idea of what I should play, and I don't want every single game on the face of the earth either. Despite the attractiveness of being able to just play any game at the touch of a button, it's analysis paralysis. So in having all the games, you feel like you have nothing to play. Oh, just die, thank you. Oh, I hate this thing because by the time you face it, inevitably you don't have any heavy weapons. So you just have to keep jamming your pistol, and the pistol, you just have to keep tapping and hope for the best. Daka 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 daka. And it keeps dropping tanks on you, which is a very impractical use of military hardware, I'm sure. No! Yeah. I could have avoided that, but hey, at least I get more bombs, rockets, grenades. Money! Lovely money! Cash money. Oh, drop shot. Flipping hate this gun. Yeah, RetroPie's always been a bit of a pain to set up, and I want to create my own set of games. So it would theoretically be the ideal thing for me, but for the fact that it is once again software emulation, and well, the truth of the matter is it's not really very good software emulation either, because I like, if I'm going to be emulating, I want it to be cycle accurate, so it's at least going to be somewhat comparable to the actual system that I'm emulating. I mean, it's never going to be the same. I'm going to take the tank because it's more fun. I like the tank. The slug. Metal Slug that does not get enough screen time in these games. Ow! Wasn't paying attention to that little fireball. Oh yeah! Shoot down planes with a tank that jumps in the air! Have some grenades! Oh, I've run out of grenades because of that stupid plane. There we go. Yeah, if I'm going to be emulating, I want my emulators to be cycle accurate. And the Raspberry Pi simply can't do it. At least not the Raspberry Pi 3. But the 4 may have a better go at it, but am I actually safe spotting this thing? No. I'm sure last time I fought this thing I found out a way to safe spot it, but I can't remember how I did it now. Oh man. Oh, stop doing that. Ooh, grenades, thank you. Whatever your name is. Ah, right, yeah, look, when it's firing these things, you can sit underneath it. And then, yeah, there you go, safe spotted. So if you go underneath it, then it always sits down, and then you can just crouch here, and it can't hit you. And if it's firing enough fireballs, then it won't sit down, so that gives you a bit of extra time to, yeah, the only thing that you can't avoid is them fireballs, so it's not really safe spotting, but hey, close as you can get in such a game. Give me the airy machine gun. So yeah, RetroPie pane set up, not very accurate, and the video output doesn't seem to be very good either. Last time I used one, admittedly was probably not on a very good telly, but on most tellies I've tried it on, the video output's just been a little bit wonky, and it seems very, very difficult to get it to go to the right aspect ratio, which is important for me because I mean, oh, I didn't ever realise that nice parallax in the background. Now, lovely. Give me the fish! This is another level where you can get fat. Oh no! Is that guy sneaking across the rooftop? What are you aiming to achieve there? There we go, look straight away. Right. I want to play this right because there are reasons to go on the roof. There we are, look. Oh. I'd like to rescue these two jerks. Ah! Not with that. Oh, for God's sake. Drop shot! No! Stop giving me crappy old drop shots. What a stupid gun. This and the Iron Lizard just like bottom tier. Come on. Big heavy machine gun. Oh look. Hey, Fortnite stole this idea, look. Is he just staying aboard the bus? Really? Oh look. Bullets aplenty. Ah. Except you can then get given a drop shot. So it's like you can get all these great bullets for this really fun gun, but you might end up with a drop shot. Oh, I just need to take this guy out. There we go. Hey, grenades. Now this, compared to the, my conversation keeps getting broken up by the things that's happening in the game, but I should persevere. So this, compared to those two systems is probably the best way to describe. It's actually ridiculously easy to set up. It works amazingly well. It's theoretically completely hardware accurate, and it's got really easy analog output as well. I mean, granted you do need to buy an extra thing for it, much like you would, and you can get 240p output with the Pi, but it's whether it'll work properly with oh, the laser gun. The laser gun in this is about as good as the laser gun in well, I don't know, it's better than the one in Contra, I think. I don't understand why stone is a valid grenade type. No! Oh, I thought I could nip him in the bud there, but apparently not. What was I even saying? Yeah, the Pi can do 240p if you get the 240 Pi, which is a decent price. But yeah, like I say, it's whether it'll work with A, the emulator, B, RetroPie. I would imagine it would, but it's probably a lot of faff. Whereas this is a lot easier. It's a single configuration line change, and the I/O board, and a nice SCART cable, which goes from DB15 plus audio to SCART. And you can get one from Amiga Store, inexplicably. I suppose it is a... I crouched then. Oh, goodness. Really? Did I take a hit there? Again, usually I can survive this pretty easily, but... it's been a while. Mouldy fruit! Might as well get 10 points. Do you not get any points for saving a prisoner? I mean, I know you get points for saving a prisoner at the end of the level, but... come on, that seems a bit unfair. Oh no! Wow. No, I keep forgetting what I'm saying. It's annoying. This makes 0 sense, by the way, in terms of perspective. Check this out. What is going on here? Oh! Oh! No splash damage for you, sir. That was it. It'll be from the Amiga Store because it's it'll work with the Mini-Mig, I imagine. It also works with the original Myst. And, of course, the MiSTer, because it's just a cable, I guess. So it'll take... I imagine it'll probably take... from any VGA... damn it. I thought it was low enough then. Ah! There's just so much fire. The problem with Metal Slug X, they've added so much crap to it and not really optimised the game very much, so it tends to slow down quite a bit. I must admit I've never actually played it on a real Neo Geo, so it could be that this is a function of the system that I'm playing it on, but if you try emulate this game at all, then you'll just get slowed down. And that includes the official ports of it to systems, PC and all that. And the Metal Slug Anthology. Boy oh boy, you want slow down in your Metal Slug game, that's the way to do it. Yeah, for some reason the PSP version of Metal Slug Anthology performs stupidly badly on the menu. Otherwise it's a pretty good way of playing Metal Slug. That was a gruesome death, wasn't it? Guy just melted. His eyeballs fell out. Ah! Haha! No! I feel bad. I'm destroying all these people's cars. So anyway, that's the gist of the MiSTer in snatches. It's essentially, for all intents and purposes, it's a multi-game system, but the whole point of it is video game preservation, which is why I like it so much. Which is why I prefer it over something like the Retron, because that's not video game preservation really, is it? It's just an emulator. An emulator that people are charging money for. I appreciate that you can put your cartridges into it, which is a nice feature, but if I wanted that, well, I don't know. It would be nice to have something like the MiSTer that you could put cartridges in. That would be the ideal situation, but the problem there is that you've got to have a huge variety of different slots to put stuff in. I mean, this thing can be used to... well, you've got... I'm just trying to think of the best way to put this, because saying it can be used to emulate X is not really strictly accurate, because it's not emulation, really. It's re-implementation. Is that a good word for it? Damn it. That's the other thing that being fat does. Makes you a massive target. And now I've got to face this bit with nothing but the pistol. And this bit is flipping hard. Oh, he says. Come on, give me that laser gun, give me that laser gun. Thank you. Oh my goodness, there's just so much crap going on here. Oh boy. Just got to pay attention to where the projectiles are. But it doesn't help when you've got these bouncy rocket launcher guys. Right. Crap's about to get real. Here we go. This level is flipping awful, by the way. It's so annoying. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like a bad comedy routine. It's like watching an episode of Family Guy. And I'll explain why in a second. Yeah, like I was saying, this thing can do, off the top of my head, it can do Amiga, it can do a 486 DOS PC, it can do Neo Geo, it can do NES, it can do SNES, it can do Mega Drive, Master System, Famicom, Super Famicom. Distinction needs to be, well, not really so much for the Super Famicom, but definitely for the Famicom, distinction needs to be made there. I was not expecting them projectiles to be so big. Oh, have I run out of continues? Oh dear. Ha! I didn't even know I could. That's because there's the bottom bit's cut off. Overscan. If I had it plugged into this hotel TV, then I will be able to see everything, I imagine. Well, that's pretty depressing, isn't it? Data save, yeah, sure. Wow, that was me. What else can it do? It can do a ton of VCS. It can do Mega CD. It can do PC Engine. It can do... It can't do Saturn or PlayStation. I believe I read that it is within the realms of capability. Hey! Where was that metal slug? Oh, I had that metal slug, didn't I? And I lost it. Duh. It was in the realms of possibility to have a PlayStation core for this, but it doesn't exist yet. What else is there? I can't. Let me open the page actually, and the GitHub page, because that'll tell me. It's just got a massive list. Apple One. Oh well, here we go. Altair 8800 for crying out loud. PDP 1, Apple One, Aquarius, whatever Aquarius is. Atari 8 bits, Commodore 16, Commodore PET, TRS-80, Jupiter Ace, whatever that is. Multi-Comp. Sharp MZ, whatever that is. TI-99, so the flipping calculators. ZX81, Apogee, beer, loads of Japanese computers. Not the MX... Oh, the MSX is right there, never mind. Amstrad CPC, Apple II, BBC Micro, Commodore 64, Commodore VIC-20, MSX, Sam Coupe, Sinclair Quantum Leap, ZX Spectrum, Archimedes, 486 PC, Amiga, Mac Plus, X68000, which hasn't been updated in like 3 years, so... Bally Astrocade, Atari VCS, Atari 5200. No, 7800 by the looks. Oh, what a shame. Magnavox flipping Odyssey 2. Vectrex. That won't run on my CRT because it's the wrong resolution. ColecoVision, Master System, NES, and Famicom. Mega Drive, Mega CD, Neo Geo, SNES, PC Engine, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, and as well as that, a crapload of arcade cores. No CPS-1 as of yet, which is a bit of a shame. But there's specific cores for a whole host of arcade games, which all run, or for the most part, run in 240p as well. So, yeah. Oh, no Space Invaders either. Gallagher. Oh, we've got Gapless. Nice. And you see a lot of the early 80s arcade boards. They ran quite a few ROMs. So you've got a Galaxian board, which ran a load of stuff. Mooncrester. Orbitron. That's the name of a typeface that I quite like using. Let's just close the menu so you can see the nice graphics. Yeah, Mr. Do Nightmare. Is that a real game? MiSTer-y, what a boring game. The Pac-Man board, which runs a whole load of stuff as well. Pac Plus, Mrs. Pac-Man, Crush Roller. And you've also got stuff like 1942 and Arcanoid Asteroids, Atari Tetris, yeah. Burger Time, Centipede, Crazy Kong, or Donkey Kong, you're kind of flipping Donkey Kong. Dig Dug, yeah. Frogger, Gallagher. Ghosts and Goblins, yeah. No Ghouls and Ghosts yet. Was that a CPS1 game? I think it was, wasn't it? Robotron, yes. Stargate, oh boy. Yeah, Defender as well. Time Pilot, that was pretty fun, although completely nonsensical. You got Xevious. Russian Attack. Punk. Yes. What everybody wants. Pengo as well. Flipping Pengo. Jeez. So, yeah. All in all, the MiSTer is a very capable piece of kit. But what that means is that you can't really feasibly have a cartridge or physical input system for it, because you've just got... There's just too many systems there to support with it, and it's just going to end up being a bit of a mess. It's going to be a homunculus. And it wouldn't be a very good proposition, I don't think. So yeah, all your ROMs just get loaded off an SD card. Anyway, let's try something else. I'm not going to play any fighting games, and the reason is... Well, okay, maybe I'll demonstrate. Let's have... I'm not very good at fighting games, am I? Let's go King of Fighters 98. See how this goes. Oh, this is in Europe mode. I don't really know what difference it makes. Doesn't seem to change the frame rate. Right. Aerosmith. Let's just do single play. Yeah, I know how to play. Let's be Ralph. And I'm against Leona. Brilliant. Didn't really plan that one out, did they? So, let me demonstrate what happens when I try and play King of Fighters on this. So, let's kick Leona in the face. Like I said, I'm not very good at fighting games, but I can hold my own. Right, so let's try. I'm going to crouch and punch. Oh, wait. That's why. Ralph has a really cool move where he sort of jumps up and down and does a kick. It's a very useful move, but I can't remember how to do it. The only move I remember how to do is the flipping Vulcan Punch, which is basically useless. Unless you get them in the right place. So, yeah, it limits my options because I've not set it up right, and I can't seem to reset the controller now. I mean, the problem is I've only got one USB port, so it's a difficult task. I think I managed to fluke it last time I did it by having both the controller and a keyboard plugged in. Oh, what did I do? I did something fancy then. I mean, I don't even know how to do throws on this. Just... No. I'm pretty sure I know how to do more of Leona's moves than I do of Ralph's. So I don't know why I picked Ralph. So anyway, yeah, the problem is I've got this. That's down an X on my Saturn pad. So, yeah, not really a great situation. Let's switch over to SNES. And see if it works. Yeah, it's still working now. Huh. Strange. Have I ever played Contra 3? Let's go Super Turrican, just because I know it. So, okay, I just want to mention that. Oh, yeah, let's go back to my original point that I was making before I forgot it. Yeah, I fluked being able to set the controller up because I had both the keyboard and the controller plugged into a USB hub, plugged into the USB on the go adapter, plugged into my MiSTer. And that worked, but I haven't been able to get it to work since. Which is a problem. So, I'm stuck with having down and X as my menu thing. I don't really know why I set it that to begin with. I think it's just because I needed something and it just worked for the time being. Hoping that I could reset it later, but I cannot. In fact, setting up the controller is a bit of a pain in general, because let me show you. There is a button and key remap for game here. So that will make you think, okay, well I get to remap and set specific controls for each game. So you could, for example, have the 6 buttons on the Saturn pad as the correct buttons for Street Fighter 2. That would be a great use of that. And you can't... Well, I would press it, but I don't know what it's all about. It says press the button you want to remap and then press the button you want to remap it to. And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't really... It's not really set up like that. You can also define per core, which is useful. Of course, I didn't realise that the Saturn pad's not really very good for playing Super Mario World. Or Super Mario Brothers. Or anything really, because the buttons just aren't set up right. If you think about the SNES pad, for example, they're set up in a diagonal, and they're all the same size, so you can hold Y and tap B with the other bit of your thumb, and then you can do run and jump, and it's a bit more difficult with the Saturn pad because the buttons aren't quite set up in the same way. I'm sure I can work something out though. So anyway, let's try Super Turrican. See how this goes. So, I just want to mention as well, check this out. Oh, why did I go up? 8:7 aspect ratio. Bam! You can have 16:9, that looks flipping hideous, don't do that. Or 4:3, which is reasonable. Oops. What's the fire button? Oh, it's Y! And this is why the per game thing would be very useful, but alas, alack, it seems. Go! I can't reach that thing. Uh-oh. But I want it 8:7 because you'll have noticed... Oh, damn it. You'll have noticed at the start there was a circular thing, and the circular thing was actually circular. I keep pressing that button and it's probably bad news. Wow, wow. Oh yes, I like that one. Oh, but I can't reach up there now. Oh well. Celebi. So yeah, it's good that you can set different aspect ratios for the systems that need it, and of course it's all up to you. I mean, I'm probably a bad person to say that to compare this to a Retron, since I don't have one. I'll have to do some research before I do my video. Due diligence. That's what we're all about in Broken Circus. I don't make claims without substantiating them. Ah! Well, that's quite enough of that. Let's play. Because this is a good use of everybody's time. If I can't play the arcade cabinet, I can at least play this one. Oh, you need to put in the coins and then press start. Yes, there we go. One thing I will say, and this is more of an issue with my setup than the actual MiSTer, and it's especially apparent in this game. Look at the uneven pixel sizing. Now this is, I'm pretty sure this is outputting a 720p signal over HDMI. Also, there still is a bit of input lag. God's sake. There's reasons for that. Like I was saying, it's outputting a 720p signal, so a 240p game will scale cleanly into a 720p. I think it does 3x scaling. However, this is... well, I wonder what this is seeing, actually. What's it seeing? I can see... Yeah, it's actually picking up the 720p, but then it's scaling it up to a 1080p because this is a 1080p screen. And it's not doing a very good job of it, so that's the capture software doing that. I suspect if I routed it... What the hell? I suspect if I routed it... I ask you, what's the world coming to? I expect if I routed it directly through OBS, then it would probably come out at the right resolution, because OBS even though it's not the native software for this card, it's does a much better job at handling all the different resolutions that I tend to throw at it. Otherwise, I would have been using this software a lot more. Because, well, it's a lot more instant. It doesn't have as much input lag. I mean, it's still got a bit of input lag. That coupled with it having to go through HDMI and this monitor I've got. So it's actually amazing that it's it's amazing that I can control it at all, given all the stuff it's got to go through, because it's going from the MiSTer through HDMI to the capture card, then the capture card sending it to the software, which is displaying it on my monitor. I mean, I know that a lot of them steps are pretty lightweight, but it all adds up. Oh, 300. I wasn't even counting either. That's what you call a professional business. Anyway, point is bad scaling, but that's a video issue rather than a MiSTer issue. And once you get it plugged into a CRT, that will not be an issue anyway, because it just outputs a nice 240p signal over analog, and that's the main reason why I wanted to get this system up and running, because Neo Geo's notoriously expensive. And that's the main thing I got it for, to play Neo Geo games, mainly Metal Slug. Oh, pity's sake. But also King of Fighters 98, just because it's an excellent game. It's a shame that the Ultimate Match version didn't have a Neo Geo port. That would have been nice to see that in the arcades. Although I think there is a bootleg that adds the characters. Really? That's the input lag in action, folks. In fact, you can probably hear the button and the delay. Star Fox 2 I've got in here, I'll save that. Street Fighter 2 doesn't seem to work very well. I think it's because of the way I've got my controls set up, but it just does not... It doesn't seem to fly. It's like the controls just do not work. I would like to try this. Let's give this a go. I've completely forgotten what this actually is supposed to look like, but already it's looking interesting. Redrawn. Oh, goodness, it looks hideous. Oh, jeez. I mean, it's made a much better use of the SNES's capabilities, but the animations are just not good. Why are the Koopa Troopers facing the camera at a sort of angle, but Yoshi and Mario are not? That's inconsistent. Well, let's give it a play, because I must commend the efforts of the person who made this. It's very well made, it's very well shaded, but it just doesn't look like a Mario game. It looks too modern. I'm gonna say it. It looks like a modern pixel art style, and I appreciate that this is within the SNES's capabilities clearly, but the color palette just isn't quite right. Not for me. It's too. It's a nice color palette. I'm just gonna admit that it's a good color palette, but it doesn't work for this game. Oh, however, the bullet bill looks extremely nice. Why is his head facing upwards? I'm finding this quite difficult to play because of the input lag. I mean, I imagine if most people would probably just not even bat an eye at the input lag, but I'm used to playing it without any. I mean, the last time I played this was on the Super NT, so... And that, I mean, it would still have had a bit of input lag, but not as much, because it's not going through like 15 different... Hey, that background's not redrawn, huh? Anyway. We get the idea. It's Super Mario World. If anything's going to work perfectly, it's Super Mario World, let's face it. It's good as well that they got the graphics to look right in an 8:7 aspect ratio. That's some dedication. It bothers me seeing games left running in the background. So what other cores have I got on here? Let's give the Mega CD a try. I've not given this a test yet. Oh, go away. There is no way to get that thing just to stay down either. The what is it? Right. Let's load the crimes. Let's load the BIOS first. I've got this multi-SCD BIOS. Don't know if it'll work. Let's load. Let's load Earthworm Jim. I don't think this BIOS works. Hold on a minute. That's probably flipping. All right. Let's have this one. Region Japan. Hey, look, that's more promising. Okay. For some reason it... Right, let's not reset on insertion because... Flipping hell. Ah, yes, so this is the... Oh. Original aspect, please. This is the wealth of options you get with the Mega Drive. You get to change the audio filter to resemble a Model 1 or Model 2. You get to change what FM chip it uses as well, I guess. 6 buttons mode, you can enable that, which I can because I have a 6-button pad. Right. There. Let's change it to US. Reset and eject CD. Has it changed it back to JP? I don't know what I'm doing here. I've never used a Mega CD before. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Right, let's belay that one because it's clearly not been set up properly by me. Mega Drive. It's erroneously called Genesis here. You can't really change that. No, it's called the Genesis, but it's also called the Mega Drive. I know it as the Mega Drive. So what games do I have? Oh, I've got lots of games for the Mega Drive, including a couple that were only on the Mega Drive Mini. I'm a naughty boy! Micro Machines. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. That sounds like something that somebody'd say in an office. The music sounds weird. So, audio emulation on a Mega Drive is something that's been very difficult to get right, as is my understanding. So, oh, are the controls not set up? Because I don't seem to be having much luck here actually controlling this. Right, left, down, up, A, B, C, start, mode, X, Y, Z. No. And reset. Codemasters, yes. There we go. Oh, it's... This is strange though. I can't change which one I want to play. I can only do head to head. I can't do challenge. In fact, there seems to be an issue with the controls in general. Why is it doing this? What's happening? You know what? I think Micro Machines isn't working properly either. Well, that's weird. It's because it's detecting it as an EU game. And it's not. It's a US ROM. I'm certain of it. Is that why? In fact, now it's running at stupidly high speed. Yeah, it's not recognising any controls at all. Well, this is just brilliant, isn't it? Gauntlet. I know that this works because I was playing... Wow! sometimes make the game do wrong. Oh no. So this is absolutely the best version of Gauntlet. Arcade mode. But I've never been a massive fan of Gauntlet, really. But as you can see, this one works perfectly, so I don't know what that was all about with micro machines. Ah. Yeah, this is the best version, partly because it has the music and partly because it just seems to control the best. Let's just go in the first exit. I've saved a key, but... Oh, do I get to keep that key? Huh. Interesting. And of course, in the world of Gauntlet, every key works with every door. But this is the stupid thing, like, it just chucks a billion enemies at you, and this is the whole game. It's like, well, I say that, but Serious Sam's the same, and I love Serious Sam. I suppose it's because that's got a much higher variety of stuff to do, whereas in this you are generally holding down the B button and moving around a little bit. The real joy of this game comes when you've got more than one person. It is a much better game if you're playing it multiplayer, and that's really what it's designed for. But once again, it works perfectly fine. I don't know why Micro Machines was having issue. And of course, the arcade version has much better voice samples. You can destroy food by accident as well. I've not seen such bravery. Some food can be destroyed. Generally, if you throw an axe at some food, then it's not going to end well. I also discovered that you can actually... That wasn't food, that was booze. That's not a wise thing to have on an adventure. Ah! Ah! Fine. There you go, Ghost. You've been affected. Didn't really help me very much, though. Ooh. Waddly, 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 waddle. This game is boring as hell. Ooh. Ugh. I mean, the thing is, you've got a melee attack, and it says you can run into things. You can hit or shoot things. I know that Ghost, it says Ghost can be shot, but if you go up to something and try hitting it, you're just going to lose health because that's how old games worked. You can't touch things in old games because they kill you. But yeah, as I say, this is absolutely the best version. Oh yeah, I found out, and I don't know if this applies to the Mega Drive version, but definitely in the arcade version. I'll try and demonstrate it once I've cleared this room of ghosties. Oh, I love that. Get close enough to a wall and just... There we go. Oh, there. Right, let's try not use the key. I will hold down the button and see if it works on the Mega Drive version. I can't remember how long it took. But if you want to save keys to open doors, then this is the way to do it. Again, I can't remember how long it took. I think I just kept it going forever. I was recording for a MiSTer-y Arcade episode. I was recording a clip of just this, and I did end up cracking the door open. Oh, there we go, look! It actually opened both the doors as well, bizarrely. Heh. Fight hand to hand by running into grunts, yeah, you see what I mean? Oh, okay, you don't actually get hurt straight away. Yeah! How about ye? Shoot or fight grunts. Yata! Ha-ta-ta-ta! Hiya! Hiya! Give me the strength pot. So does the wizard just punch people in? Because he's not got any weapons. They do all have funny names as well, like Thor and Questor and all this bunkum written on the side of the cabinet. But in the game, they're just called Warrior and Berserker and all that. Oh, Warrior Valkyrie. What is a Valkyrie? Other than just a female warrior. Well, this is good. Bottlenecking them. Except there's 3 spawners there, so... Oh. Right. There we are. I do hope that there is a... Well, I was going to say I hope there's a PS1 core. It's not much use for me because I have various ways of playing PlayStation games. Hello? Where are they spawning from? Oh, that did nothing. I magicked and the enemies on the screen weren't affected. I feel conned. Also, the little guard huts take forever to destroy. Do I have to keep playing this? I wonder if... I mean, this is kind of early days for this, for the MiSTer project. I found out about it from a Retronauts episode. And if you don't listen to Retronauts, then wow, what a podcast. It's such a nice podcast. Pretty chill discussion on not just retro games, but like the conversation around retro games. It really is a good little podcast, or rather big podcast actually. It's one of the bigger gaming podcasts out there. And definitely worth a listen if you're interested in this sort of stuff. But yeah, that's how I found out about the MiSTer project. And I'd heard of it, and I'd heard of people. Well, I think the first time I came across the term MiSTer was a YouTube video where somebody had put that they got Wolfenstein 3D working on the MiSTer. And you'll note that I did have the 486 core in my list, but I suspect that will need some proper setting up. I mean, I can launch it and see what it does, but I doubt that I can control DOS using a gamepad. That's not going to fly. So I think that'll have to wait until I've got my I/O board, and I'll be able to plug it into a monitor and have a nice DOS machine. Not that that's really necessary, because once again I've got systems that I can use for that, but it's curiosity's sake. Anyway, yeah, that was the first time I came across MiSTer, because it was somebody demonstrating Wolf 3D on the 486 core on MiSTer, and I was like, well, okay. And this was when I'd first heard... no, I think it was when I'd ordered my Super NT, so I was just about to get it, and I was very interested in this whole FPGA thing, but then MiSTer seemed kind of insurmountable, and that was mainly because I wasn't really doing the research into it. And then I listened to the podcast, and the guy was like, oh yeah, it's super easy, you just need to write it to an SD card. You need to get this board, this specific board. You have to write the stuff to an SD card. We've got a tool that prepares an SD card for you. And then you just put your RAMs on there and put your cores on there. Jobs are flipping good. And I was like, okay, well, I'm down for this. And it turns out the board, actually pretty cheap. If you look... I mean, there's a system that's supposedly on its way out. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's another Retron type system, multi-game thing, and it seems to me like it was originally planned to be the thing in between something like a Super NT and a Retron. Sorry for swearing so much, but you know, this is part of the conversation, isn't it? Oh dear, this is why Gauntlet's so crap. Let's just move on. I'm going to change games. Can't be asked with this anymore. I'm going to play... I need something simple that I can just play and not really think about. Car. Let's do PC Engine. I can't remember what games I've got for PC Engine. I think I've got... Yeah, I've got all the Crush games. I mean, Space Invaders would be a good choice. Go on then. Let's see what difference is. Yeah, I honestly cannot remember what this system was. But you get the base system, and that can play CD-ROM based games. And then you can get these add-on things, and you slot it on the front, and you've got a different cartridge slot, so you can put in NES games, or Famicom games, or Super Famicom games, etc., etc. So originally, this was supposed to have... I'm gonna find the name of it. I don't have anything that's... I'll run a demo. You'll just have to suffer with the Space Invaders title screen. I saw it on Twitter. Are they actually following me on Twitter? I feel like they are. I seem to get lots of weird followers. Oh, well, that was brilliant. That's not quite what I had in mind. Followers. Follow me, don't follow me. I bet it was ages ago now that they followed me. By the way, I appreciate everybody who follows me on Twitter, and it's very, very good of you. $64, mate, they're following me. Yes, that's just a box, isn't it? Okay, I can't see it now. I'm sure it was pretty recently. Yeah, no immediate sign of it. Yeah, it's definitely not. Nothing there. Oh well. Something like the Playmatic or something. It's not the Playmatic. It's a stupid name. Who would call anything that? FPGA-based multi-game system. Polymega, that's it. Polymega. I knew it had a P in it and an M. Yeah, so this Polymega malarkey. Let me get it up on a ESR window, and I'll show you what the page. Let's just switch to midstream. There we are. I have lots of scenes for my thing, and midstream is one of them. In case you're wondering. So window capture. Let's get Firefox, and let's get Polymega. So here we are. This is what this is. And man, this game is just making an absolute racket. Hold on. I'm going to have to switch games because it's just making a racket. There. In fact, I'm going to put Metal Slug back on because at least that makes a sound. Oh, sure. I'll leave King of Fighters on. Yeah, there we go. The nice music. Right. Even though I'm going to be switching games pretty soon anyway. So, yeah. Polymega. So it's this funny modular multimedia device for games has arrived. So what we in the trade call a game console. You bunch of ponces. So here we go. Look, you get the system. We'll talk about the gun in a second. You get the box, and then you can stick all these bits on the front of it. So it supports all this buncombe. Fair enough. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's pretty cheeky of them to list PAL versions of these systems as separate systems. I mean, it's not even, just PlayStation. The PlayStation's the same, whether it's PAL or flipping not. CD-ROM squared, I can understand, or CD-ROM ROM, as it's supposed to be. I can understand putting that as a separate thing, but not the PAL version of the Mega Drive and the... You know what I mean? And even Genesis and Genesis 32X, I mean, is that really necessary? I mean, but I suppose, yeah. Putting Mega CD 32X, though, is a bit excessive. So this big list of systems is actually only a third of what they really offer. So you got PlayStation Saturn, Mega Drive with 32X and CD support, PC Engine, which is actually listed, CD-ROM, Super Graphics, Neo Geo CD, and Famicom, Super Famicom. Actually, Famicom isn't listed, is it? It's kind of funny. I'll tell you why in a second. Yeah. Polymega base unit, and then you put this thing on the front, and the thing is what accepts the cartridges, as you can see. And each one also comes with a specific controller that is designed after the system that is aping or emulating or whatever. And look, it leaves black borders on your nice HD TV, and it actually fills the whole thing because, you know, that. I suppose if that's a 4K TV, then it would scale a 240p signal cleanly, but I have my doubts. And look, it's not just about playing your cartridges, because supposedly you'll be able to buy digital copies of retro games for $3.99 and CD games for $6. Not bad. Very, very good concept, I would have said. A modern retro system. Good idea. And a method of getting these things legally and digitally. I'll take it. You know, I'm happy about this. Except. So yeah, it all looks good. But yeah, the problem with it is this thing was originally supposed to have FPGA technology in it, which was the big selling point. Now this I do like, video game history. They're into preservation. Great. Anyway, back to the point. It was originally supposed to have an FPGA in it, so it would be able to emulate... Oh, I'm just going to say emulate, it's easier. Emulate the hardware. Or, you know. Which would be a very, very nice thing to have. Just a single modular system that has a lot of FPGAs in it. You slap them on the front, put the cartridges in, flipping great. I like the idea. Except it doesn't use FPGAs, it's just software emulation. And you want to know how much it is? Well, oh, there's my tab bar. Brilliant. Go on. Do you want to know how much it is, friends? This Polymega base unit set with wireless controller will set you back $300. $300. Now let's compare that to analog.co. And let's take the... Let's go to the store. Mega SG, less than $200. I know that's only one system, but it's an FPGA system. It's made by Analog, who have got a track record of making some great stuff, even if they do keep it all under wraps and closed source and all that malarkey. Hey, I've got that one and it's discontinued. I can't use it though because I don't have anything to plug it into. Yeah, the Analog have got a great track record. People know that they can make a solid piece of kit, and they know the stuff. And they've got Kevtris working with them. Kevtris is a genius. Does all this FPGA stuff. Flipping great. So, the point is, Analog can do it, and we know they can do it. And then here comes these chuckleheads peddling their stuff for much more money, for a lesser product, I would have said. Because this Polymega... I hesitate to just say, oh, well, your PC can do it, but when you're talking about $300, get a laptop with a disk drive and you can do what the Polymega can do, you know what I mean? And then you get the add-on, the expansion things, I can't remember what they call them, we'll find out in a second. How much do you think they are? We're talking maybe, well, I would say a reasonable price might be $30. If it's a... well, maybe $40 considering you get the nice controller with it as well. You know, Seems a reasonable price to me. $60. $60 for software emulation. And if you think about it, this really doesn't actually do very much, is it? It's just a piece of plastic, because you would imagine that most, if not all, of the processing will be done in here. And the thing is, this was originally going to be like you'd have an FPGA that has an NES core in it, you have an FPGA that has a Super Famicom core, which makes the $60 price tag actually reasonable. The controllers are also pretty expensive, considering my, well, I don't know, $24.99 for a nice Super Famicom style controller. It depends on how good it is, of course, but my retro USB Sega Saturn controller, which is an official product, made with the original mould, so it's like the Unicomp Model M's. Admittedly, I don't know how it compares to an actual Saturn controller, but this is really nice, and this was 16 quid off eBay. Brand new. So, you know, you can understand my trepidation when it comes to this thing. And then you can buy the Ultimate Bundle, which has everything in it, for $650. So for my money, a MiSTer, even though you have to set it up yourself and you have to get a lot of add-on stuff, is a vastly better value proposition. Not only can it do a much wider, well, potentially a much wider range of stuff, you don't have to buy these silly add-on things to actually get it to play all your games. You know, you can't put cartridges in it. Fair enough. Maybe somebody will make a thing that you can just put cartridges in, it'll play the ROMs off the cartridge. That'd be great. But not yet. But the trade-off is you get to play it on an actual CRT. You get to use whatever controller you want. You know, you can get USB adapters for all kinds of controllers. So if you wanted to use an NES controller, I was about to say Famicom controller, but that's not going to happen, is it? If you wanted to use an NES controller to play Street Fighter 2, the new challengers on the SNES, then yeah, go for it. You're not going to get very far, but you can do it. And I suppose you could potentially do it with this, but it depends on what kind of connectors they have. By the looks of things, they do just include original style controller ports. Pardon me, my drink went down slightly the wrong way. So you can plug your original controllers in. Fine. But it means that you can only use that controller with that thing. And if you want to use... If you've already got a controller for this... I mean, you could use the wireless one, couldn't you? But you can't just use a SNES pad for everything, or in fact, they don't even have a Saturn style pad, do they? They've got a 6-button Mega Drive pad, but no Saturn style. Although I suppose they're pretty damn similar, really, aren't they? I'm actually due to receive a Mega Drive controller with 6 buttons that's pink. It's the one that Limited Run Games did, the charity one that says transparent pink, and it looks beautiful. So, but yeah, until then I don't really have much of a frame of reference for either of the controllers. Anyway, my point is the Polymega is not a great value proposition as it is. And it's a shame, really, because it seems like it would be a good system if they left the FPGAs in. But I can maybe... Hey, does that not have a 3D floor? Come on, Street Fighter 2 has that, and that's on a much less powerful system. Dear oh dear. I mean, it has got nice parallax stuff, so that's something. Yeah, I can kind of understand supply scarcity in a way, but at the same time, Intel are doing these Terasic boards for 130 quid. $150, I think they are. Or maybe they're $130 and we're just getting shafted in the UK. They should be like 300 quid, but Intel are subsidising the costs of them because they want more people to develop for FPGAs because they are the future. So maybe the Polymega's just too early. And FPGAs aren't as readily available as they... Well, aren't readily available enough for it to be a viable product with what I'm trying to, or what I would want out of it. Maybe that's it. Then again, well, I don't know. Maybe in a few years we'll have something like what the Polymega was originally touted for. But yeah, Polymega is not as good as the MiSTer. I like the MiSTer a lot. Anyway, it's well, before I turn it off, I'm going to try the 486 core. Oh great, so it's actually trying to boot from the floppy. That's not what I want. Mount primary HDD as DOS. And then boot order wants to be hard disk drive. FM mode OPL2. OPL3, come on. Reset and apply hard disk. No, don't boot from the floppy. Can it not? Can it not boot from this hard drive? Do I need a... I need a boot disk, don't I imagine, actually. Yeah, that'll be it. I bet it can't just boot. Yeah. Oh, box. That's nice. Well, I wasn't expecting this to work anyway, so that's fine. Yeah. So that's a quick little overview of the MiSTer. Once I get my I/O board, I would going to do a nice video on it to compare it to the other options that you have if you want to play retro games. Or on your telly, I guess. But for now, I've got to move on. And I've got to change what's plugged into where. Because, of course, the HDMI is not plugged into my OSSC because it's plugged into my MiSTer. You can also get cases and things for it, but I like the look of it. Oh, goodness. It's a bit of a nest of cables down here. Right. Yeah, once I'm able to play it on my Trinitron, it'll really come into its own, I think. Right, channel. And we need the right channel for the OSSC. Ah! Well, that's different. Let's reset my brightness settings, which I need to change back because the video is really dark when it comes through to the capture software. Old OBS. My file is here. This is very professional. Brightness down a few notches. Contrast up to the top. And saturation up to the top. Okay, and that was the most accurate image I could get. Let's... And before I forget, I will change what the game is, because I always forget to do that bit. Crash Team Racing. Yes. Because I've got a game to 100% here. Oh, and also I need to mute my telly, because otherwise it'll sound strange on your end. Your engines! Sony Computer Entertainment Europe. Not Europe. America. Yes, this is the American version. I'm a naughty boy. It's fine. Yes, it's fine. Skip it. Skip it. Skip it. Skip it. Skip it. Skip it. We've seen it a million times. Right. Of course, my water bottle is in the way because where I normally have my bottle is where the MiSTer is now. Oh, there we go. That's better. Hooray! Wow. It's such a trip going from the large screen with the weird scaling to the small screen with the extremely nice colour and smooth graphics. Oh, God. I still can't get over how great CRTs are, man. The colours are still wrong, but it's the best I can get it. Right. Adventure mode, please, Bob. I need... Wow, I'm only 58% through. That's incredible. It's because I've got 0 relics. I require... Oh yeah, and also because I'm not going to cup races. Okay, well let's start with Citadel City. Why have I not? I've gone the wrong way already. Great stuff. Since I'm here, I'm going to work backwards. Ready, race! Oh.
Lowest time you can by racing fast and breaking time crates. Each time crate you break will freeze the clock.
Yes, thank you. We know how time trials work in Crash. I'm sure if I can do this in Crash Bandicoot 3, I can do it in this. And I've also already done it. Oh, yes. I can't remember if I actually managed to do them all while I was on holiday in France. Yes, that's how I spend my holidays, playing Crash Bandicoot. Literally. Yes, that could have been done a bit more efficiently, but hey. Yeah, them two are pretty difficult to get. These two are pretty difficult to get as well. Now there's some right on the corners here, look. Now this is by far not the hardest time trial in the whole game. I can't remember what is though. Oh, there's that awkward 3. Oops. I think there's an achievement for getting for breaking all of them on Nitro Field. Ah yes. Just clipped it. Oh! Balls. Although I'm actually on track, I think. My time is not bad thus far. Oh, crimes. Right, get the 2. Clip the 1. That's good. Right, you can't actually gain more speed in here, but you can keep the speed on re-entry. Right, there's none at that side, okay. Ugh. Well, that's wasted me some time, hasn't it? Ooh, I thought I was going to get squished then. Yeah, that 3 is quite difficult to get. The one that's up past that ramp. Oh, there's a 2 there. Nice. I love it when you manage to stack loads together. Yeah, I'm actually pretty on track to get the sapphire, though to 100% it truly, I do need the gold in each track at least. I don't think the platinums make a difference. As with Crash 3, the platinums are just there for bragging rights. It's kind of funny that I managed to get platinums in Crash 3 in some of the hardest flipping levels. Give me some speed. Right, now comes this tricky part because I've broken quite a lot of the crates now, so... Oh yes, I managed to clip it. Nice. Now let's get this 1. Get the 3. Good. Oh, there's 2 over there. Wow. Oh, didn't get out of... In trying to decide which one to go for, I got neither of them. Oh. Well, how did I do? How did I do? How did I do? What kind of relic? Is that just a sapphire? I can't actually tell. Save the high score, please, Bob. Whitney? So what? Yeah. Alright, 134. Oh, come on. Restart. I need the gold, so I might as well get it now. While I've got it fresh in my mind. Is that 3 there? If I can just manage to get that 1-3 there. Oops. Of course, breaking all the crates will massively bring your time down. And of course, not falling off. I'm not sure how you just got to do a really tight turn, I imagine. Right. Oh. Come on, I got to do this. My hands aren't as cold as they have been previous weeks, so I've got no excuse. There we go, look. Whee! Let's get this one while we're here, might as well. Get him out of the way. God, this is so much fun. Oh, balls, he says, getting bounced across each flipping... It's like playing Wipeout, that. Of course, this game is like miles ahead of Wipeout. Nah, it's not. Wipeout's a different kind of game. It's unfair to compare them. I mean, I know they're both racing games, and I would rather play this, but Wipeout is also a really good game, and a different style of racing game, so you can't, honestly, compare the two. It's like comparing Mario Kart and F-Zero. Or Microsoft Flight Simulator and Free Space 2. Right, give me them. Right, it's them two seem a little bit too far away. Oh, the timer's still frozen from last time. Hey, or from the last crate I broke. Right, can I get this one? Yep. I mean, this would be so much easier if it was Tony Hawk's and I could just grind along the edge of the track. Oh, I missed that one. Every second counts, as we've discovered already. Oh, I just clipped it. Nice. Right. Grab that too. Sometimes you have just got to play it out once, just so you sort of get a lay of the land. Didn't do so well that time, but for next time. Next time, Gadget! Ah, balls. Oh! Didn't mean for that to happen. Oh dear. Missing everything now. Can I at least get that one? You see, for this you've got to have a good memory of the ones you've broken and the ones you haven't and where they are. And of course I don't have a good memory, full stop. Mainly because I can't remember what I was talking about 5 seconds after I've said it. Oh! I can't keep my drifting under control. Come on. Right, that's going to help. That's also going to help. Nearly there. Come on. Let's get as many of these as I can. And blammo. What did I get? Did I just get gold? I'm fine with just gold, to be honest. Yep. I imagine the platinum time's something like 110. Or maybe it's 125. I'm curious, actually. I'll just start again just to see what the time is. 53 seconds, well, balls to that. No way. I'd have to be much better at the game. In fact, if I broke every crate, then that would be... that would be within reasonable expectations, but... Hot Air Skyway, wow. But this is the reason why I don't need FPGA PS1. It would be extremely good though, wouldn't it? I really do think they are the future for game preservation. Because like it or not, these old systems, they is going to die out. I mean... Well, I managed to kill my original Slimline PlayStation 2, but... yeah, the disc laser on that died a death. And that's the thing, they are machines. At the end of the day. So if we can get something that perfectly replicates it while also being a sort of solid state system in itself, that's going to vastly, vastly improve the longevity of the system and ensure that it can be enjoyed by future generations. And that's really the point of present game preservation. It's a bit like scanning books, or taking photos of famous paintings and uploading them in the highest resolution possible, because the resolution afforded by modern technology. I'm doing terribly here because I'm talking about history. I should have picked an easier track to go on my tirade. Let's just try and concentrate. Tell you what, I won't be able to play Nitro Fueled again. At least not without some practice. Because like I've said before, this handles quite a bit differently to that game. I wonder what I'll manage on this then, relic wise. I mean, I'm going to manage gold because I have to. That is my goal. It's just the end of this track always catches me out because I'm not sure how best to approach it really. And I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Here we go, look. So I'm aware you can do a handbrake turn there and sort of get around it pretty easily, but I can't keep my speed going when I do that. Right, so if I can maintain around a 30-second lap time, I mean that's going to be impossible, isn't it? Because I've broken crates. I need to take this way again because I need that too. Well, that was tricky, but I managed it. Yeah, I've gone through quite a lot of crates on that first lap actually, so it's going to be pretty tricky to replicate that lap time. Just got to break as many as I can. Of course, the real way to do it is just to use the exploits in the game and jump over part of the track. But that's not the fun way to do it, that's just the boring way to do it. Boring yet practical way to do it. Yeah, so that's kind of how you're supposed to do it. Although there are much quicker ways. You can jump over that bit in the middle as well, if you're really good. But that carries the stipulation of having to be really good, and you know, that rules me out. Right. Oh, come on, where'd the crates at? Oh, there's a 2. Oh, I missed it. Right, I need to take the normal route this time. Because look, there's loads of them here. In fact, that's a much more lucrative way to go because there's loads of 3s there. Right, can I get at least one of them on here? Get the 2 as they're the best. It's worth a slight slowdown just to get a couple of 2s, I suppose. Man, this track is so good, isn't it? The music as well. It's actually good that I'm getting these hard tracks out of the way, because the time trials on the other tracks... Oh god! Come on! Oh dear, I lost several seconds there. Wonder what the gold time is on this then. Hopefully it's less than... Hey! Did it! I suspect the platinum time's something daft, like 2 minutes exactly. Or well, it'll be 1:59 because it's never an exact time, is it? It's always something stupid like 1:59:59 because they're ridiculous. Let's just have a look and see what it is. Which I will do on every track, even though I'm not going to... 2:02, okay. No. I'm fine with my gold, I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead, you know. Can I change... Can I change the position of the screen? No, I can't. It's not quite in the centre of my screen, it's slightly off to the left, and I have that problem with all my games that I play through this, but on quite a few of them, Crash 2 and 3 included, I can change where the screen is, where the display is, horizontally. I do think there is a slight issue with this hotel TV as well, because it sort of goes wibbly at the right. Not enough to impede my enjoyment of it though. Right, don't hit any spiders. Yeah, the trick there is to make sure you've got a boost that you can... So you can do the handbrake turn in mid-air and then come out in a boost. Right, I won't try and get that 3 there. Would have just fallen off. Except if you handbrake too much and then that happens. It's fine, it's fine. Come on, Crash, wake up. Right. Oh, I missed all of them. Wow. Right, there is the shortcut here. Let's try and get that out of the way. Because there's a 1 there. Fantastic game. Oh, how did I miss that? You know what, I'm going to restart because I've hit 2 spiders and that's just not good. Right, let's try that again. I've got to try and drive sideways as much as possible. There we go, look. Sideways driving. Oh, balls. I bumped into the corner. Oh, give me that 3. Give me that other 3. Yay! Now I don't have to take that risk again. Fantastic. Right, let's try and get this 1. Yeah. Right, try and get... Oh, didn't get eyes of them again. Right. Let's get the shortcut out of the... There's going to be a lot of restarting this stream if you hadn't already twigged. The audio is also off because I'm listening to the capture card output rather than the game. Because this telly has no headphone slot or anything. Because it's made for hospitality, not for gaming on. I mean, it's really good for gaming on, but yeah, that wasn't going to go very well, was it? In fact, I'm quite surprised by the pitch quality of this little telly, given what it was made for, and how much use it's probably had as well. I mean, it did come from a hotel. So, I would imagine it's actually been used quite a lot. But, aside from the issue I mentioned before, it's not really shown many signs of it. It's pretty immaculate. Especially given it's been in my uncle's loft in his very hot French house. Right. That was a much better line, that wasn't it? Yeah! I've actually got a much better time as well. Well, like a few milliseconds better, but it's in the 13s rather than the 14s, so hey, I'll take it. Now let's get the 2. Right, I won't go for the shortcut because I've not got the right angle for it, but that's fine because I can pick up some of these. Get that. Oh dear. What? Really? Well, that's set me back massively. Why did I fall off then? Didn't even know that was possible there. Well, I can possibly still pull it back. Let's see. Oh dear. I need to go left next time. Oh no! I can still pull it back. I can still pull it back. Right, I can avoid the spiders entirely there. Right, can I get this one? Yeah, there we go, look. And then next time I can get that 3. Oh, it's a good thing you can't fall in front of the stained glass there. Why can't I get that 3? You'd think that would be handed to you on a silver platter, that one. Right, I'm going to try and get this 2 here. No! Probably can't get away with that. Right, go left. Yeah, this is going to be terrible this time. But, no. Okay, let's just restart. Cut my losses. Here we go. Right, let's get that out of the way. That's good. That was a good start. Right, let's go left. Because there's a couple more crates that way. Nope. Oh, that was okay. Yep, I'll take that. And oh, yeah. That first opening time is getting slowly better each time. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Right, let's go. This 3. Right, I still can't get it. I can't believe I didn't quite hit that 3. Okay, oh, didn't hop at quite the right time there. Timing them hops is surprisingly difficult. Oh, that was good. Yeah, 2. Oh, that should have been a 3 there. You know, close to the corner it was. Ah. Well, I suppose 2s are pretty lucrative in and of themselves. Yeah. Right, and then the next one, next time around I get that 3. Okay. Get the 2. Right, can I get this damn crate over here? No. Just can't quite reach it. It's because I'm not an acceleration character, is that why? Right, let's get this 2 and fall off. It's fine. Get the 2. Yep, good. I'm sure I can get away with 1 fall off. Not a million like I did last time, but 1, I'm sure. Will be salvageable. Right, let's get this 3 on the corner here. Yes! That's what we call skillage. As me and my friend used to say in high school. When we appended "age" to the end of pretty much everything. That was back in the day when we used to say poonage as well, because that was a cool thing to say. I still don't know if that's pronounced correctly. Does anybody know? PWN? Oh yeah, I had to abort that. But it was 6 of one after the other, really, wasn't it? In fact, oh. Yeah, let's not try for that 3, because Crash cannot reach it. Right, let's get some of these. And then hopefully that will be a good time. Yeah! Gold! Fantastic. Yep. Let's, what was platinum time for this one? 132. The platinum times seem to be pretty hard on this. I wonder if I'll get any by accident. Might get Crash Cove. Yeah.
Great. You earned a relic.
Okay. Down here. Yeah. And then up. And then over here. No. Wrong one. No, I don't want to do this again. If it dumps me back to the flipping podium, I'm going to be annoyed. Oh, it did not. That's where I need to be, look. Oxide Station. Oh, haha. Let race. Sorry, I wasn't quite paying attention there. Hehehe. Hoo hoo hoo. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, not bad. Oopsie. Oh, goodness, right. This is a good track, but there's lots of places where you can just bump into walls and get stuck. It's very windy. Would definitely be difficult with a speed character. Oh, goodness. I don't think I'm going to get gold first time on this, to be honest with you. I don't know how I did such a good hop there. Oh, too early. Come on, Crash, turn. If I can get less than a minute on the first lap, then that'll be okay. Because presumably gold time is going to be something like 2:54. I'm keep expecting the wheels to go orange as well. Get that honey glow. Wait. Oh. Concentration silence. It's real. Right. I need the time boxes. They are worth slightly more than the shortcut, I think. There we go. I think I got the speedy thing there. There is a 3 there as well that I need to make sure I get next time. That one should be a 2 because it makes you bump into the wall. Let's get the 2. Get the hardest ones out of the way and then I can hopefully just sail through the bit. Oh, he says missing one because I didn't see it. Yeah, hopefully I can just sail through the rest of them now without having to make any silly driving. What a sentence, eh? Wow. Oh, except for that one. Oh, 2. Yep, good. There's a 1 there, yes. There's a 2 there, good. Right, so I didn't know you could do a hop there. Whee! There's a 2 there, need that. Yeah, right, there's a 3 there, yes, need you. Told you to sail through them. Oh, there's a 2 there, oh, I missed it at 3. 3 makes up for it, I suppose. 1, every little helps. Right, there's a 2 there. Beautiful. And a 1. And a 2. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Gold! Yes! Yeah. Come on. Exit to map. I don't want to know what the platinum time was on that. Yeah, the colours still don't look right, but on the stream, there's only so much you can do.
Great. You earned a relic.
The only way to get this to look right, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. CRT. I wonder if Chris O'Regan has a CRT. I was listening to the Kane and Rince PSP podcast, and it was rather amusing because Chris O'Regan was on it, who does the Sausage Factory podcast and is a member of the Kane and Rince collective, as it were. And nearly every gamer was like, "Oh, I've got one of them." Leon just got fed up of it after a while. Oh, what a brilliant podcast. That's another great gaming podcast you should listen to if you're into gaming. So that's Retronauts and Kane and Rince. And soon, another podcast, but that's a secret as of yet. Because I haven't started yet. Well, this is going great already. I've missed every stinking box. How are you supposed to get that one? Hey! Don't slow down because you needed to load in a seal sound effect. Oh, I jumped over the flipping crates! It occurs to me you don't actually have to do a hop there, do you? Because you're landing straight onto another boost. Well, I might as well restart. I've already wasted loads of time. Look at that, I was on a 30-second time as well. That was never going to fly. Drive side. Yeah! I like how I started cheering before I'd actually hit the thing. In fact, it must be a bit strange watching this because I imagine my speech isn't quite in sync with the game either. Yikes, that was bad. Oh, there was a 3 there, I didn't know. Right, let's just... There we go. Right, don't fall in the water this time. It is possible to skip that whole bit, which I imagine is worth a lot more than the time crates. Right, let's see if I can do this shortcut, because I couldn't do it. There we are. That'll do me. Yeah. Let's just stick with them for the time being, the 3. Right, what's the situation here going to be then? Oh. Answer is there is no real situation. Oh, there's a 2 off-road, that's nice. There's a 3 right there in front of the bowling pair. That's an obscure reference, isn't it? Ooh. I'm surprised if anybody gets that one. Hey, I worked it out. Oh no! There's a flipping seal. Oh well. And I had a chance to get that too. Right. Oh, there's only 1s here. Ooh, I managed to clear that whole thing. Great. Imagine if you could do a multiplayer relic race where you all had to jostle for position and try and get the most time crates. Go! Are there actually any time crates on the normal bit of track? Oh, missed one there. Yeah, that'd be cool. And it's still a time trial, ostensibly, you're just competing with each other. Live, as it were. Okay, well this seems to be going reasonably well. Have I got all the ones from this little figure 8 thingy? I think so. Gosh, the track looks really bare now. Ba-dum-ts. Go! Yeah, that's the problem. I've got not any time crates left to get, so this is going to be a long old lap. Well, I say I've not got any left to get, right. Must be some down here as well. Yeah, there's a 3 there! Let's grab it. Yeah, because that helped. Wasted 3 seconds getting it. Right, there's the 2 that... Oh, well. Let's get these 2. Let's get that 1. Didn't really plan that out very well, did I? Yeah! Let's see what that gets me. Gold! Ooh, only just. Yeah, well. That's got to take what I can get. Oh, it's Crazy Taxi's 20th anniversary. Oh dear. Can't believe I'm not celebrating that. Although, to be frank, I've not really played Crazy Taxi properly. Maybe I'll play it next week. When the event's passed. Okay. What's next? Come on, Crash. The engine gone cold. This one. Tiny Arena. This one should be pretty easy, actually. Lots of jumping, lots of speed boosts. Yeah, I imagine this one to be not too difficult. Yeah! Of course. It would help if I don't miss the crates. Hey! Sometimes the catchment area of the crates, the bounding box, seems pretty lenient. You can like just clip past it and you'll still break the crate from like 3 miles away. And then other times you'll brush it with your head and it doesn't take. Great, I managed to dodge flipping all of them. Crash must be allergic to yellow crates. Although, quite frankly, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to get splinters just from racing around a racetrack. You know what I mean? Oh dear. I'd quite like to watch a 100% speedrun of this. I want to see what that would look like. Oh no, I missed them again. It's interesting as well that they use the Crash 2 tiny face, which is slightly inaccurate, rather than the Crash 3 one and the LED stuff other than neon. Oh dear. Ugh! How come the 3 is really easy to get and the 2 is next to a wall? Here we go. Right. Hey! Oh, come on. Wake up. Might be another chance here. Oh, managed it again. How are those so hard to hit? I'm just thick. I'm just tick. And those ones as well. Oh dear, this game. Yeah, at least I got 1. Yes! Give me them sweet, sweet crates. 3. Beauty. Oh, 2, yes! Right, it's the final lap, pulling out all the stops. I don't need to wangle around for any... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Most of the crates are gone now, so I can just race. Hopefully do a decent job. Once again. I'm doing an extremely good job at missing the easy ones. Like this one here. Managed to get that one. Oh, there's one here as well. Very tight. Oh, there's two there. How long's that been there? Well. Right, can I get at least one of these? No, I can't. Dear oh dear, there's a two there as well. Imagine the savings if I'd hit at least one of them. Okay, there's a one, and let's cross that line, and whoa! Honestly, man, I did so badly as well. That platinum time's too easy. Oh well, I'll take it. Let's see what Whitney got. Oh yes, of course, Whitney did better. Oh my god, did you see Engine's time? That was like 10 minutes. Dear oh dear. Skip it. You earned a relic. Okay, what's this one? That looks like it's the battle arena. Oh no, it's not. It is the Dragon Mines. Oh, this is going to be hard work. I think this might be another one where you've got to jump off. Much like in the what is it? The CTR challenge. Can't remember off the top of my head though. We'll find out soon enough. What's the matter? Is the PS2's RAM not big enough for all these sounds? Yeah, there you go, look. Yeah, what a cheeky level. To pull this on you twice. Hey! I mean, it's 9 seconds, so you do end up making it back, but still. Cheeky level. Ugh! There. I'm really having to concentrate on this one. I'll get the one in the water last lap. I thought I was for it then, but if you watch the AIs going up that thing, they hop the way up as well. So it's not just me. Well, at least I got all them for my smack in the nose. Oh no! Oh, look at my time, it's not going to be anywhere near. It's going to be really bad, my time. Oh dear, oh well. Sapphire's only 128, that's stingy, man. How can you give me platinum for the previous track and then have a really tight Sapphire time for this one? I wonder if there's time crates in the shortcut as well if you follow the minecart. Oh dear, well that was dreadful. That was absolutely rotten, but at least I'll know the gold time so I can try and compare my time to it. Yes, thank you for that flipping measly award. Come on! Look at that. Retry. Whitney and Crash will be the 100% save file that I downloaded ages ago though. Restart. Straight in. And the only reason I downloaded that is so I could play against my friends as the bosses. not have to 100% it, mainly because I didn't really want to at the time, and now I do. So everything will feel legitimate. So 111, that's what I'm aiming for. Now let's get these. I can get that on the way back. Right, let's not crash into anything here. Get that 3. Yeah, that's saved some time already. That 1 looks tricky to get. I can actually see myself getting all the crates on this one. Not that I'm going to, but I could feasibly do it if I put my mind to it. Right now all I'm interested in is just getting that gold. If I get platinum, I'll take it, but gold is the one I'm going for. It does appear that there are, by the way. I've just seen... oh, that was stupid. Why didn't... Oh, let's see if I can pull it off. So I can pull it back. But yeah, there are definitely some crates in the shortcut. I may give it a go. There might all be 3s. And actually, it would skip that the spiral bit. But I've just got to try not to drive right past it. Oh, look, it's actually a good time as well. Look at this! I was right, they are all 3s, but... yeah, that happens. And you actually drive extremely slowly on this as well. How are you supposed to do that? That seems impractical. Oh, I didn't get anywhere near that. Come on! Come on! Oh, that was the last one as well! Wow, I nearly got all of them. Platinum's probably 1 minute exactly, isn't it? Oh well. Done it. Sure. Don't think you can delete times as well unless you delete your whole save.
Great.
You earned a relic. Okay. Last one. It'll be Blizzard Bluff, everybody. Relic race. Okay. I can see this one being fairly easy. There's nothing particularly I mean, it's just a track in it. It's not nothing particularly gimmicky about it, I was going to say. Just the ice. But should be okay, I think. I mean, look at that. That's a good start already, I would have said. Oh, what do you mean, whoa? Did you just get a splinter in your nose? Oh, right, okay. There's a 3 there and there's 1 there as well. That's the shortcut. So I'll try and grab that. There's another 3 there, I think. I just missed. 2. There's 2 there. There's a 3 there. Might be able to get both the 1 and the 3. But I will just prioritise, of course, because that makes sense. This is yeah. Oh, let's just restart. I forgot there was a gap there. I might try and get that first lap actually. and then it's out of the way. That is if I can get it without falling in the water. Yeah, you've got to drift towards it and boost. Yeah, a bit like that, but better. Let's try that again, but with flavour. I don't know where I got that from. Doing something again, but with flavour. I know that in Payday 2, there's a pager line from Dallas that says something like, right, I'm going to give up on that. Give that up as a bad job. Okay, I'll try it one more time. It says something about doing something again with feeling, but I don't know why I say with flavour. Maybe it's just one of my strange flourishes. That's how I live. Life wouldn't be worth living if it wasn't for strange flourishes. Wait! Oh, yes, did it! When it really counted, I did it. And now that's out of the way, I can safely just race and not have to worry about doing that again. Great, well, I just went right past that 3. I mean, I know there's still a 1 there that I missed, but I got the majority of what I wanted. Right, there's something here. It's only a 2, so I won't bust my balls. But if it is the case that I can get it, then well, then I'll have it. And it would help, I imagine. Man, this track, there's really not a whole lot to talk about here. It's just a track. It's a nice track. It is not a bad track. It's snow level, so obviously it's a nice track, but it's a bit just a track. If it wasn't for the snow, I assure you, this would be tarmac for days. Ah, that's not where I go. There we are. Gold. Platinum's probably 1 minute again, or 59 seconds. In fact, I am curious, because that was pretty sloppy, I have to say. I could have done better. But I'm curious to see what that platinum time is. 45 seconds, you can get stuffed. Right, next one. I think, is that, Yeah, shut up. Yeah, that's the last one for the snow levels. So, this is back to Citadel City. That one's back to Insanity Beach. So let's go back to Lost Ruins. And that's the name of it, isn't it? I've played this game enough, you'd think I'd know by now. Oh, that beautiful seamless loading. Oh no! Yeah, they went into Rampage Ruins there. Dingar Canyon! Dingar Canyon. Yeah, nah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's exactly what Australians do. I actually work with an Australian person and she does not say yeah, nah, yeah. At least not that I know of. But then she has been living in the UK for a long time, so it's probably just worn off. Because Oh, balls. I wasn't paying attention there. I can pull it back. There's a 3 there. Oh, oh. It's cheeky, isn't it, when they put crates in the same place as they put the CTR tokens. Right. Give me the 3! Yes! In fact, I'm pretty sure that's where one of the CTR tokens was as well. Ah, balls. If I'd handbrake turned just a little more, I would have made that. Right. Ooh, nice. Yeah, if you time that just right, you get a hop. Yeah. It's fine. Go! Oh, no! I missed that very useful too. Right, there's no more down here. So let's just worry about getting them hops. No. There we go. Oh. Right. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Ah! Oh, and there's another one up there. That was a good choice. Oh, I'm not going to do very well though. Look at the time. Meh. Got gold. Great. Right. Oh, didn't want to respond there. That was bad. Bad. What's up with my X button? Oh, don't tell me this controller's breaking as well. Every nice controller I get, they flipping break down. My pink controller disconnects every time. Like, intermittently. So I keep randomly losing control of my games. You know what? I should save. I haven't saved in ages. So it would be prudent to do so. Right. Sorry, I just spotted an amusing tweet about supermarkets. 76%! I should really not have Twitter open while I'm streaming because it's very distracting. But yeah, 76%, that's good. This Coco Park, this one should be a doddle. You could even say it'd be a walk in the park. Right. That reminds me of all them stupid flipping challenges on Nitro Fueled. Where you have to win a race, but drive backwards the whole time. It's like, well, yeah, okay. But isn't that fun? It's novel when you do it first time. And when you actually manage to do it first time, it's quite entertaining. Because you're just lapping all... Well, you got all these people lapping you, but you're that far ahead that it's not really a problem. That could have gone better, couldn't it? I'm being a scaredy cat and I need to just go for it. Like so much of life. Crash Team Racing is now a metaphor for life. Who'd have thought? Right, let's grab that. Let's do a nice wide berth. Yeah, look, that's what I needed to hit to get these two. Yes, please, Bob. Yeah. Oh, really? How'd I miss that one? Ah. I have to do this one again, folks. Doddle. Walk in the park. Ah! You managed to miss the gigantic green boost thing. Which is just brilliant. Aren't I good at this game? Well, you know. Ah, fantastic. Hooray! Gold, please. Once again, I could have ostensibly got all of them on that. Oh, sorry. I wonder if I'll be able to get every relic before the stream's over. Yeah.
You earned a relic.
I mean, I've still got more to do, so it won't quite be 100%, but... Papu's Pyramid, this one's going to be tricky. Because there's that shortcut that's stupidly difficult to get. And there's that other shortcut that's stupidly difficult to get. So, let's just see how this goes. Just saying this one will probably take a couple of tries. When I say a couple, what I mean is a few. Ah! Oh, was there another drop-off there? Wow. What a cruel thing to do, game. Right, go! Okay, well, let's restart. Aha! Some people can just do this. They can get that shortcut every time. Yeah, look, there's the drop-off one. Might get that out of the way, actually. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Okay. I needed to go a little bit further. Now I know. And this is why it takes a few goes. You need to get the lay of the land. If any of you listen to Cheap Show, we need to get the layout. We need to lay out the lay of. Oh. If any of you listen to Cheap Show, we need to lay out the lay of the land out. Ah. Right, and now here. And then, bloing! Look at that, 12 seconds, that's good. And then I get the extra ones. Yeah, I didn't actually go that far down. Oh, they've put some cheeky ones right in front of the plants. Right. Yeah! Now I don't have to worry about doing that shortcut again. Yeah! But I can never remember what the deal is with the plants. Is it if they're sort of leaning back, is that when you can go up to them, or is it when they're leaning forward that you can go up to them? Am I going to risk it? No. Is it going to be worth it? No. Look at that, I'm only on 16 seconds. I was on 10 seconds when I went around this thing first. Well, and 12 seconds really helped, didn't they? Yeah, I missed them all. It's fine. Because look, there's tons down here, look. Right, can I get over here? No. I'm missing out on lots of crates. However, I just farted. I don't know if you heard that. I hope you didn't. Oh dear. Ugh. Good thing you can't smell it. Eesh. That's not good. That's a right waft of that. Let's get this nice 2. Right, can I make it across here? Yes, look at this. 3, 3, 3. Well, it was a 2, 3, 3, but you get the idea. Right, I'm not even going to attempt that shortcut because I know that I'm just going to fall off. And there was a 3 up there anyway. Hooray! That's good. That's fine by me. It's all about the golds. Well, come on then. Exit to map. Yeah. You earned a relic. I also spent some time replacing my bot because I wanted. You see, what was happening before? I was using this. I was using the Streamlabs chatbot, which is made by Streamlabs, same people who make Streamlabs OBS and claim it's their own. Anyway, it was a piece of junk. I was also using MooBot, and the MooBot's good. But if I was gonna have a bot, I wanted it self-hosted. I feel like it's a bit more trustworthy to use an open source bot running on something that's here, an on-prem bot, as it were. Plus, with MooBot, you have like limitations as to how much stuff you could use. I know I was never gonna hit them limitations, but you never know. So I'll start using PhantomBot. Ah, you know. Oh! Yeah, I spoke too soon. Right. I might have to stop soon just because I heard my cat meow. I think I heard my cat meow. And that's not something I want to leave undealt with, if you catch my meaning. Because cat could be hungry, or cat could be sad and want to cuddle, or cat could be just wanted to get in and come and sit on me. And I can't leave sad cat on her own, being sad. I mean, I should have left the door open really, so she could have come in and told me. Didn't think of that. But, you know, hindsight. Hindsight is current year argument. Whee! And actually, now is probably a good time to stop, just because A, my throat's starting to hurt, and B, that's Lost Ruins done in it then. Go away, fire! Thank you. Right, need to grab this one. Oh, and that one. Yeah, I was wondering about that and wondering how I could get that, and now I've got it. Look at this, I nearly got them all as well. There was just them two at the start that I didn't manage to get hold of. Sideways driving. Sideways driving. Sideways driving. Hooray! Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it off there. That's fine by me. I'll go and save. So, I don't know when I'm gonna get my IO board from my MiSTer, but as soon as I do, I'm gonna start making a video on it. Hopefully it'll be a fun video, and I will also do I'll also be doing a bit more streaming with it because, well, it just about suits my requirement for original hardware, as insofar as it is ostensibly original hardware. So I can use it to stream stuff, which would be great. But whether, well, the place that I got my SD RAM module from, the IO boards are currently out of stock. Now I did email him and he said it'd be available next week, but that was 2 weeks ago. So, you know, it's just a thing that the guy's doing as a hobby. So I don't expect. I'm not demanding that he has them available, sort of thing. But when he does, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one of them nice cables as well from Amiga Store, and we'll have a nice MiSTer to play with. Hooray! But until then, I better save before I undo all my hard work. What percentage are we at then? 82%! Wow! I've also got to get the relics on the Turbo Track and Slag Coliseum as well. So, that's another stream. Thank you all for coming along. Next week's might be a little bit later, but I will still be doing one. So just be aware of that. That's about it, really. Also, my bot tells jokes. There he is. Oh, dear. Right. And with that, I bid you adieu. Until next time.